You ready?
Ready for what? Something that'll really hit the spot.
Always quick with a joker to light up your smoke.
It's fun and educational.
Welcome to Coffee Talk, a joint production between 3WV and Higher Education. Coffee Talk, Higher Education and 3WV joint production. I'm Dawn with Higher Education. Seth's here from Higher Education.
Hello.
Hi. And Ashley D from 3WV.
Hey, hey.
That rhymes.
It does.
Ashley D,
Every time.
3WV. I've never given that up because it rhymes. Hey, hey, hey. I'm Boo Boo the Bear. Doesn't Yogi do that? Boo Boo. Do you know what I'm talking about? Hey, Boo Boo.
Yes, that's what Yogi says.
Yeah, it was funny. Ha 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 ha. So today is this week, not today. But,
there's a lot happening this week.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, busy week.
So the cool thing is tomorrow's a good day. Tomorrow, happy May the 4th be with you. I like that day.
Such a dork.
I really like that day. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Han Solo.
I'm not a Star Wars fan.
What?
I know.
What?
I'm sorry.
Why is she
So
here?
weird.
Princess Leia.
I cannot like things. Like,
No,
I mean,
You can't think of a Star Wars character that you like, though? I mean, you've seen commercials and
Princess
shit.
Leia. How about that?
Yoda? Everybody
I'm
likes
not,
Yoda.
I'm not
Yoda,
saying that I
yeah.
haven't seen it. It wasn't my thing. And didn't really like it.
But don't you have a little boy?
Yeah. So my husband, and it's something that he was into. And he talks about it with him, but we do not sit down and have family night to watch Star Wars.
So my little
It
boy
could happen.
became a basically I guess Andrew was a little boy right around the time that the second set of them came out. 1, 2, 3, I guess. So he got to see them, and I never saw them as a child, even though that was my generation. I could give a fuck about it. And I had this little boy who was so excited by it, every toy and every Lego. And my house is packed with Star Wars Legos from like 1999 until the present. And I think there's a few years there where he has every single Star Wars Lego that came out. And we watched the movies religiously over and over. Sometimes we had marathons, We went places when they had Star Wars exhibitions. We had costumes. We had Yoda. We've made, it's...
The extent of my interaction is my mom did take me to see, the series when it came, I guess came back out. What is that? What you're referring to?
The trilogy.
The first trilogy of trilogies.
So whenever it, I don't even remember the timeline, but I remember collecting like Pepsi and Mountain Dew cans because they had the characters on it. And my mom was a huge Star Wars fan. And so I guess she was trying to push that off on me. And maybe that's why I never went down that road. But I remember collecting and I wouldn't open them because, moms and collecting things. And so I would collect the Pepsi and Mountain Dew things with the characters on it and put it on a bookshelf, which they all got thrown away eventually.
Would have been like young Anakin and Queen Amidala and Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
And that's around the time that my son, I guess, was, getting
First
into them.
finding it too, yeah.
And it was, having a 7-year-old like, oh, this is fantastic. And he was so freaking excited over it. And, anything you see through your kids' eyes is fantastic.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of neat because we're talking about our kids now, which is interesting because the other really important holiday this week, and probably like the most important holiday of the
Cinco de
entire
Mayo?
fucking year, is
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, Mother's Day.
Yes. And all of us are mothers because you're a motherfucker and we're mothers.
I love
so.
Cinco de Mayo.
There's a lot happening this week. That's 3 whole things.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Can you do anything on Cinco de Mayo with
You
like
drink.
bars?
It's
Then I
another
don't give
drunk
a fuck
holiday,
about it
isn't
because who
it?
gives a shit about drinking?
It's a
I'd rather
reason to-
smoke. We got to change it
yeah.
to a smoking holiday, and then I could get down for it. But I mean, the force be with you. Obviously, everyone in Star Wars was a smoker.
Oh, yeah.
Mind control. That's all about, giving people the right drugs.
When you sit down and watch a Star Wars movie, don't you have your bowl or your water pipe with you? Because that's the whole point, right?
But and Mother's Day is obviously all about weed because you give your mother flour. I mean, every mother begs for flour for Mother's Day, and
That's the type
and
of
it's
flour I want.
obviously a stoner holiday. But this Cinco de Mayo shit, I mean, I'm not hearing anything about smoking, so out with that one.
Okay.
Out with it, or pick up a pipe Okay.
Move on to more important things.
More important things. Mother's Day. Even if you don't want to give your mother a present, there are other mothers out there like myself and Ashley D who accept random gifts from strangers who just want to feel like they gave their mother or a mother something, because there's mothers who need appreciation in the world. There's lots of us, I mean, I wouldn't be hating on anyone who wanted to send a Mother's Day gift here to Ashley D. Yeah. I really think you should shower Ashley D with gifts because she's a fantastic mother and she deserves it. And I'm pretty sure she's thinking the same thing about me.
Yeah.
I mean, she hasn't said it yet, but I know
I like where you're going with this.
She's also suggesting that, you should send them to me. So,
send us all the presents.
We love gifts, day spa visits. We love our hair being done. We love clothes. We love food.
But if people really
flour.
really knew us, or people, like us, then you want to get something from higher education. How about that?
Absolutely.
Truly relaxing.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure you could ask the staff and they know exactly what any of us would want.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Good point. Good point. You're so good at this job.
So what do you want for Mother's Day?
I want a new pipe. No shit. That sounds like a great idea. I want to relax. I want to have a big breakfast. I don't care if I have to cook it.
How old are your kids?
They're too little to really do anything. So 6 and 1.
So it's their daddy's responsibility?
Yeah. So
hint.
Yeah. Sure. I'll organize it, and he just has to follow through with what I need done.
Nice.
So
nice.
But I'm definitely liking the suggestion of total relaxation day and having my own pipe and flour.
Yeah. Exactly. They can't, there's no excuse for not having flour on Mother's Day.
Fresh flour.
Fresh flour.
Yeah.
Yep.
And regular flowers are just going to die anyway. You don't really have fun with them.
Exactly.
I mean, they look pretty for a little bit, but they're not
I've never been a
functional.
huge flower person, a flowers person. If you're going to give me some, give me a plant.
Yeah.
Either give me some perfect flower or you need to give me a plant. But this whole, let's kill something and hold on to dead things that...
For a week. It lasts maybe a week.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like I want to symbolize how much I care about you by killing something else. What kind of nonsense is that?
So
this is like our love. It's beautiful now, but it's going to die.
Yes. As you can see, it wilts. It will be ugly.
Well, so, what would be good is seeds.
Seeds would be good. And with the upcoming legalization, next year at this time, it'll be legal for us personally to all be growing, because as of July 1st, we'll be able to grow. So next Mother's Day, excellent gifts will be coming into higher education and picking up seeds for your mama. Or you could do it a little early and give your mom a full plant.
Yeah, don't you want to start in the spring anyway?
Yeah.
It's almost time to be putting seeds on the ground.
It's interesting. It is kind of, they're giving us July to ensure that we're not really going to have a harvest this year for the average individual.
You have to grow indoor.
Yeah. And that's going to cost a lot of electricity. And we already know from what's happening in Colorado that the pollution's fucking through the roof right now. Have you heard?
Right, all the energy consumption for all the growing. It's a huge polluter.
Yeah. And Colorado is so energy
because they don't
friendly.
grow outside at all.
Right. Too small to grow season. And then there's drought riddled in the south. Southern Colorado is
indoors too easy to control.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So now they're talking about all the energy issues they're having in grow states.
So what are they saying is the solution then?
I don't know that they have a solution at the moment.
No.
They're just sort of, after all this time, sort of analyzing things and figuring out that they're, not everything about it is positive, I guess.
So
it's causing more environmental degradation than coal does in the state of Colorado.
Yeah. So do you think once, when we start legalizing it and more places are open to that some of the pressure will come off of Colorado as far as a, more national
It's possible.
So
and Virginia's a great place to grow.
Well, it'll be interesting because there's still something to be said about indoor versus outdoor.
For sure.
Indoor has the regulations that you need to get maximum output for square inch or square foot. So you're looking at a 5 foot by 5 foot area, you should be able to produce 3/4 to 1/4 of a full pound. Whereas you're not going to see that the numbers are going to be totally different in an outdoor environment. It's going to depend on sunny days. If you get too much water, too little water, you're going to have an irrigation system potentially. If you have scorching days, you're going to have to worry about something getting burnt in an area. I mean, there's no rotating it.
More susceptible to bugs.
Exactly.
To wild animals.
Wild animals, exactly. Disease.
Yep.
You also have to worry about protecting it from people who want to steal it.
Yeah.
However, I have, been fortunate enough to, in my life, have been, privy to some outdoor grown in this area that's incredible.
Yes.
So there is no doubt that you could do it outside and do an amazing job.
And Virginia is the place because of the fact that we have such a long grow season here.
Right.
Just in general, we have a very long summer, spring, fall.
And ideal soil conditions.
Wonderful soil conditions. That's why we have so many vineyards here as well.
Right.
But that'll also...
That's why tobacco was grown here.
That's right. And it's interesting because I know that there are vineyards in the area already talking about moving to hemp production and cannabis production, more importantly, because they can already start doing it on... commercially, start moving and changing away because they already know how to grow. It's just switching crops, so that'll be interesting. We do have a lot of farms here in Virginia, so I think we're just going to see the cash crop changing potentially. And
yes, I agree.
But, we'll see how many new farmers we see. Are we going to see our forest being cut down and turned into farmland? Or are we just going to see just the farmland?
Corn turned into...
Yeah, marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Corn's supposedly not good for you, really.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, and most of the corn that's grown is actually grown to feed cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To beef them up, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should feed less cows and eat less meat and...
Yeah.
I can't get on board with that stuff, but
we don't have to get rid of all of them, especially not the small farms where
and
they're
not the
grown
ones where they
organically,
actually
so
treat
speak,
it nicely. But we got to get rid of like factory farming.
Yeah.
Factory farming's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Where they just don't care about the animal and they're just
making burgers for McDonald's.
Yes. And fattening
but the poor quality,
Yeah, there's something about that that's just terrible. I think you should. I love the idea where you can like almost know the cow. You can literally go to the farmer's, lot. My uncle has cows here in Virginia, and he sells. People come to him and say they want a cow or a side of beef, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm a vegetarian, so I know I'm going to sound like a fucking retard
no,
here.
he's just got property.
A rancher, I guess. So he's got property, he's got cows, he loves these cows, and he has been doing this so long that people tell him that they're going to take a half a cow or a whole cow.
Yeah.
And then, they know what cow they're going to get. And some of these people actually like hang out there and hang out at his farm and which I don't think I could do because I'd be sad. Like I'd be taking the cow home. Like I bought the cow, it's mine now. I mean, right? That means I don't have to kill it, right? So like if I bought the cow, can I just take it home?
I grew up on a farm, and that's what we do. We have Angus cattle, but we don't. So we make feeder cows, and so I guess we send them off. And they get bought in other states and around to move them into feeding them out. But we.
What does that mean, feeding them out?
So would be like taking it to a larger production where they're selling it for the meat. And so they aren't selling it to an individual person. They're sending it out for production. But we do take cows and one gets to a certain age or something and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to have this cow, put down and soon because, it's got all these issues and it's not producing, the greatest babies. So, it's the quality. Everything's managed quality. You're keeping track of it. It's an operation. And so, if you say you want to get a half a cow or you want to get a cow or you go in with somebody, like me and my brother would say, oh, well, we want to get a whole cow. And what you do, they take it, send it off to the butcher, and the butcher will send back, freezer full of stuff. So you keep it in your deep freeze.
Right. When I was a kid, we used to, even though I grew up in Baltimore City, but my family grew up here in Greene County. So I'm from Greene County and we spent our weekends here, weekdays in the city. And we would get a cow down here and we would get to go to the butcher. And I remember, and it's odd now that I'm a vegetarian, but I remember when the grinder would grind up the ground beef part, and at some point it would be coming out of the thing and you have to like stop it so so it doesn't keep. And I got to do that job and I loved it. It was like, ooh, I cut off the ground beef. Ooh. And now as a grown up, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? And I remember being so excited to be like, oh yeah, look at all of our meat. Yay. Coughy. And ironically, you know, I didn't eat vegetables as a child growing up. Like, I hated vegetables. I only ate starch and meat. I was like, meat. And one day I suddenly put two and two together that those cows that we had at the house that I loved and thought were cool and whatnot was food. And you know, I don't know. I mean, how fucking stupid was I, right? Like, how does that even make sense?
That's why I think that's why the making friends with the cow is kind of odd to me. It's like you don't want to establish that emotional connection. Like, and maybe I've applied that in my life too, because I'm not very good at emotionally connecting.
I mean, like,
I was going to say, you didn't at any point as a kid, like, you know, go hang out with the cows?
No, so bulls are more so because bulls last longer, and we did have this one award-winning bull. He even had a ring in his nose and everything. So, you know, he that was probably one that I came to know more than others. But yeah, bulls are probably where it's at.
So my grandfather used to, I guess my great-grandfather, you know, they had milking cows. And I mean, he like literally these cows like walked around the yard and followed him like puppies. And, you know, just, you know, there were a few that he was just super close to and, you know, and.
No, you get close to them and they're like, I mean.
Yeah, and even pigs, you know, there's a time that when my son was little, we had two little pet tiny mini pigs. And my God, I was like so in love with those little guys and rubbing their tummies and.
Pigs can be good pets.
Oh my God, they're so much fun. And I even loved some of our chickens to the point where, you know, Red was like my sweetie. I mean, she just loved her, you know.
I hate birds. They terrify me.
I don't like them either. Aren't birds gross? Their little fucking feet and their nasty little fucking beaks. They're so gross. And they got little fucking bugs all over them like fleas, but they're not. They're called like, you know, bird mites.
But here you are, the chicken whisperer.
But you know, like people pick up. Oh, when my kid was little, you know, every little kid wants to pick up a feather. I'd be like, "Don't touch it!
Yes.
It's diseased.
You're gonna get lice."
Yes.
All right, we got off topic. Where are we going with?
Oh, who cares? Topics are fun. Do you hate birds?
I don't hate birds at all.
Yeah, well,
not even a little bit.
Birds are gross.
I mean, they're pretty from a distance, but if they get like within 10 feet of me, oh my gosh. We've got some chickens out here, or at least we did at one point. They would just roam around the side of the building. They come from this. Oh my gosh, they scare me.
They scare you. They don't even come close to you.
They do. They do.
Don't.
Oh my gosh.
The chickens don't bother me. The roosters do. The roosters would like attack you. You're like, what the fuck?
That's what they have over here. Like it's. I don't go out there and sit at the smoke section anymore. I go smoke in my car.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Fucking cocks. On that note, we are going to take a smoke break in the smoking section and see if we can find ourselves the big cock.
I'll get you to catch one of those chickens, and you know.
I don't want to catch the chicken, but I'm not afraid of it.
So we're taking a smoke break right now. This is
Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk with 3WV and Higher Education. Coffee Talk.
CBD.
We will help you with your anxiety. We'll pick you up when you're feeling low. And nothing costs a pocket full of dough. Relax your body, free your mind. Higher Ed is the place to find
A CBD.
Let us help you with your anxiety. Now offering curbside pickup and shipping direct to your door. Just call to place your order at 434-293-PUFF. Higher Education, Charlottesville's CBD superstore since 2017, providing high-quality CBD and education about all its amazing benefits. Higher Education, because CBD is a lifestyle, not just a greener trend. Be careful and smoke at home. And remember, share the experience, not the pipe.
Higher Education is still open, so come in.
Best prices, best selection, most knowledgeable. Higher Education, Charlottesville CBD headquarters. Welcome back. It's Coffee Talk with Higher Education and 3WV. I'm Dawn. It's Ashley D and Seth.
And no chicken.
We couldn't find the chickens, so Ashley D clearly is seeing things. I don't know that she just smokes weed like she suggests, because something was not there and I see it. You know, the last time I saw a giant chicken was when I was watching that movie Young Guns, and they did peyote, and there was a giant chicken. Remember that? That was... I love that show. Did you ever see that?
We did actually come in here to talk about
Young Guns.
other things. topics related to, higher education.
Okay, just one quick second. Do you like Young Guns?
I haven't seen Young Guns.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good movie.
It's all right.
Whatever. Put in the comments if you like
just like
Young
them because
Guns.
they did peyote.
It was
Do you
really
remember
good.
any other scenes in that movie? Did you see the Doors movie where they did peyote?
We should watch that for next episode. Doors peyote movie and Young Guns peyote movie. Okay, next week is peyote movies.
Peyote week.
Peyote week. Woo, woo, woo. Anybody got any peyote movies or literature to share with us? Please reach out to Ashley D.
Let's get back on topic.
Yes, that's what I said.
Peyote
No.
Misconceptions
of peyote.
of glass.
I love
Head
glass.
shopping.
Yeah, I love glass. So what do you got? What's a misconception? What do people think about glass?
Well, you're a noob. Tell us, as a noob, some things you think about glass.
I don't know. Don't put me on
When
the
you
spot like
go
that.
into a head shop and you're looking for a new pipe, what are you looking for?
I feel like I need it to be heavy.
Oh, that's
Why
a good
do you
one.
need it to be
That's a good
heavy?
one.
I don't know. That's just, it would feel, I don't know. I feel like I need it to be heavy. That's just my personal preference. I feel like the glass is more solid
Okay.
if it's heavier.
Yeah.
And
That's what a lot of people think. It's
Yeah.
actually a very, common thought. And we even, sometimes one of the things people say is, "Ooh, do you have any of that double blown glass?" And I think what they're really looking for is something that's extra thick.
Okay,
And double
yeah.
blown is something that they've been told means extra thick, and that is a misconception of glass.
Okay, let's get into that then. Go.
Well, I'd like to backtrack a little.
Dawn.
Actually, I want to backtrack because I think you missed another obvious misconception about glass that you just completely skirted
It's all
over.
the same topic.
Nope. It's two different topics. So the one that I was suggesting, or I was thinking that you just led me to, was that
Out
it
with
mattered
it.
that it was thick. And it doesn't matter that it's thick.
Right.
Actually, it's that it's evenly blown.
Right.
Okay.
So this is two different topics. But anyway, basically when you're looking at a pipe, my pipe's outside.
We're dealing with, wall thickness. It's
wall
really
thickness. So you look at the wall thickness, and you should see a very consistent wall thickness. When you're looking at the wall thickness of the pipe, if you see sections of it that are really thick and globby, and other parts that are really pulled thin, you're seeing the weak and the heavy points of the pipe.
Ooh.
It also means when the pipe falls, it's going to fall wherever it's heavier. Just like anything else, it's going to drop at different rates based on the size, the weight of the pipe. So if you have all the weight in a section of the pipe because the wall is not evenly distributed, then it's going to have hit harder at that section and more likely to break there. Wall consistency is more important than wall thickness.
Interesting.
So we like to use the analogy of the egg. The egg is super thin, but the wall is consistent throughout. And, we've all played that, egg toss game where you toss an egg back and forth, and every once in a while you have that really long toss and you watch this egg hit the ground and bounce and not break. And it's because of that perfect shell. It's that perfect wall consistency, so that when it takes an impact, that impact is evenly distributed throughout the entire shell, and glass is no different. If the wall consistency is the same throughout, if it does take an impact, then the impact is shared throughout the whole pipe and it's less likely to break in any one particular place.
Man, you guys just blew me away. Shit. Like, I never thought that deep into it. That makes sense.
And you want to get a little deeper. I love this. Glass, when it's blown by a glass blower, they're really turning the solid into almost a liquid. It's like the consistency of honey when they're working with it. And liquid, as we all know, is self-leveling, So if you're doing this properly, they've turned this like object almost into like liquid in their hands. And so the glass should be even throughout the consistency of the piece if it's done properly by a good glass blower. And that's really how you get that perfect wall consistency.
And that happens because they're maintaining rotation in their hand,
Right.
or if they're using a lathe, they're punning out with a stick and they're holding that piece of glass and they're constantly rotating it between in their hands so that they can keep the glass rotating and the glass will evenly distribute itself. as you pointed out. So
You stick a spoon into a jar of honey and, you spin it at a certain rate so that it doesn't fall off. And it's a similar sort of consistency.
I was at Glasscraft years ago, And it's a glass studio and warehouse facility in Colorado that now doesn't exist, I believe. But one of the analogies they said, if you were thinking about being a glass blower, this is 20 years ago, was put honey on the end of not a spoon, it was just a stick, and spin it. And you needed to keep it, even. So the goal is to keep it evenly spinning, not jerk it, which is your tendency. If you actually think about it, you put your thumb up and you push and you push and you push and you push, and that's not even. So you have to learn how to, you're not actually holding it. It's just kind of balancing within your fingers, and it's very delicate. Unlike myself.
The people can't see you spinning that pen.
I'm explaining it to you too.
Yeah, no. You did a really good job. I'm just picking on you.
Well, you were a glass blower, right?
Yeah.
That was,
Once a glass blower, always a glass blower.
Okay.
I'm a glass worker. I don't know that you call me a glass blower. I've been in the industry for so long as a shop owner and a shopkeep, and I got to play around with glass, and there were times that we needed stuff, and I made the things that the store needed back in the day in Colorado, and then I got really lucky and was taught how to make spoons and stuff, but I never actually made anything, I guess, all these
Wouldn't consider yourself an artist?
I am definitely not an artist.
Okay.
I guess you could call me a production worker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can make your spoon for you. I can make your one hitter.
I mean, that's
But
a lot more than I can say.
I can make your, I can make your necklace, but that's about it. I don't really have skills, unfortunately. It was fun to learn, and it made me really appreciate the glass blowers. It made me understand my job a whole lot better. But I never really put the effort into it takes a lot of time, and I don't even know if I have an artsy mind to begin with, let alone have.
So back
arm
to the consistency of it. I mean, I guess you would have to blow glass for years to really be.
I think it's a skill that somebody develops just through repetition. And like anything else, you put in the time and you can learn it.
And so you guys know this. So when you're pricing stuff at your shop, I guess that's what you look for. You're kind of critiquing
when we're buying glass.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Glass artists kind of set the prices themselves, really, because they tell us what they want for something, and so they're kind of setting the prices, and a lot of them do sell to the public as well. So they set the prices, and we kind of have to work with that. We have to decide if we think that the quality is there for what they're asking for it, and that's and try to both of us make a good living.
Well, they're probably honest about it. So if they have a piece that they don't feel is of great quality, then they maybe
a lot of it I think is based on their time, so they can potentially produce something that's, still pretty and quality, but doesn't involve a ton of time.
Okay.
And then they can sell it for less. And then sometimes they spend a lot of time on a particular piece, and then they have to charge a lot of money for it because they put a lot of time into it.
The more sections a pipe has, the more chances they have of a fuck up. So if you look at a piece, especially a heady piece, there tends to be multiple sections, and each section will be worked differently, have maybe potentially different colors, different techniques. Thank you. Artistic techniques, whether it's a wig wag or an implosion or something. And,
the little additions that they put onto them, marbles. And
each time that you add something or you make a new weld, you take the chance of cracking what you've already done.
Right.
So you're, heightening the danger factor with each piece or each addition, and you have to anneal it and then bring it back out, and you're holding something massively heavy, and potentially it could be extremely heavy. I mean, the heavier the pipe gets and it's on your punny rod or your blow stick, depending on if you're still blowing into it, it can be huge. You get 5 pounds of glass, hot glass in your hand, and it can be a lot. And each time you're pulling it in and out, the risk of it breaking is higher. And I think that also exasperates the price.
makes sense
for the more expensive stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The initial thing that you said where you were, you go looking for a pipe that's heavy because, it appears to be more durable. And that's, that's a misconception, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like sometimes a heavy pipe just feels good in your hand. I like the way a big, thick, chunky piece of glass looks too, and so we have that too. It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's just not always a necessary thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you're talking about water pipes, then weight is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you're blowing out the bottom of it from potentially a 2-inch tube to get a beaker shape or a circular bottom.
Yeah.
That's going to thin that out. And that's the part that's going to ding and hit your coffee table and this and that all the time. So you probably want that to be a thicker glass. And of course, we have tubes at higher education that are 9 millimeters in thickness, and that's very thick and fantastic. 7 millimeter is still considered thick. 5 is pretty standard. And then the stuff you see in gas station crap stores is probably 3 millimeter. And that's when you're like, oh, one hit and I'm going to break it. You really, you can tell that when you're feeling a glass water pipe. Thing about glass water pipes to remember is do not just look at the lip and assume that's the thickness, because they all make their lips fatter, almost all water pipes. So if you're trying to feel the thickness of a tube, you can obviously feel a difference in weight if they have enough variety in the store like higher education does. You'll definitely find a 9, a 7, a 5, but you're not always going to be able to feel all three of those at the same time and notice it. But if you reach down a couple of inches, or at least an inch into the tube maybe, you'll actually feel the wall thickness of the tube itself. And then you can kind of tell a difference of, or at least see it between your fingers, because it's clear glass. You'll see how thick it is compared to a different tube, potentially. And that's, you may not be able to determine exact millimeter thickness, but you'll see how thick it is.
And pick it up and feel the weight. Yeah. And the weight is important.
Sure, but you might not notice if you only have one weight.
Yeah, totally. If you don't know the difference.
Yeah, not everyone gets to pick up 400 tubes a day.
I'm all like you guys know, when I'm in your shop, like I'm scared to be around everything because I'm just a clumsy person. So it gives me a little bit of anxiety. I'm not gonna lie, to walk in like I'm like a kid in a candy store looking at stuff. But it's
kind of
like,
the advantage of going to higher education because they have such awesome glass buyers. That they just buy really quality stuff, and therefore it's got excellent wall consistency and is quite durable.
You don't have to be scared. Honestly, there's so many pipes in there, and we want it to be fun. I've been really lucky, to be honest. I've had a fantastic, long, strange trip of a life, and I've been all over this country, and I have chosen to go to head shops for like 30 years. And I've been in so many of them, and I've looked at the things I like, and I looked at the things I didn't like, and we tried to make higher ed the things we liked.
Yeah.
So I hated the fact that you didn't have variety, and we have variety. And if you want to pull down fucking 200 tubes, we'll pull down 200 tubes, not at the exact same time, because we got to put some up as we pull them back down. But, by all means, you want to stand down and look at all of them, we are here. I'm happy to show you every one of them, and so is everybody else who works there.
Yeah, it's the best part of the job anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to be clear too, and it's not your store. Like, your store is laid out better than any other head shop that I've been in. So I don't want people to think that it's scary to come into your shop. I want to make that clear. But it's my own personal anxiety. And you have everything laid out, and
she doesn't smoke enough CBD. If she smoked more of the CBD, she wouldn't have anxiety.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good point. All right,
but you need to prep yourself before you come into the head shop next time.
Maybe
sit out in the parking lot and get your head right.
Maybe I've hung out with bulls too much, a bull in a china shop. So but you guys have a great layout, but it's my own personal thing, kind of like with the heavy pipe, like that's a personal preference.
So Seth, you were kind of late in the game with head shopping compared to me. So were you nervous with all that glass around for a little bit?
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get comfortable with it really fast when there's that much glass together, though. And it does break. It doesn't happen often, but it happens.
Just talking about it.
I know. It makes me cringe every time it happens. I don't even like when two pieces of glass touch each other. That dinging sound is like, nails on a chalkboard to me. It's awful.
Or when a customer puts the pipe, after we show it to them, they put it back down on the glass counter instead of that black piece of display. And I'm like, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's a rough sound.
It's so terrible.
But you also, when you work with glass, you just get comfortable with it, and you realize that it's really, really durable. And most of the time, and I've done things where I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I just dropped that, and it just bounces, and you pick it up, and you're like, well, I guess this is mine now because I can't sell it, but it's not broken.
So back to the Mother's Day theme, that's kind of like with a baby. Like, people are terrified to hold and do stuff with babies. And then especially like a second time mom is going to be like, oh, it's okay, I dropped him the other day. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Little bouncy balls.
Yeah. Oh my God, they just picked that up off the floor. You're like, it's cool. Their fingers were on the ground a minute ago and it was in their face. Did you not just see him eat a booger?
Yeah, did you not just see him lick that shoe over there?
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's resilient.
All right. So, what's another misconception? Like, what do you think?
Oh, well, you actually were on that track. You were heading in another direction with the double blown, my favorite term.
Double blown glass.
Is
Well,
that double blown?
I said I thought it was part of the same thing because it's about wall consistency too. People, when they say double blown, they're looking for a thicker pipe. But it doesn't really exist, you know? There's no such thing as double blown
You don't
glass.
want a double blown pipe. You do not. There is a double blown pipe, I'm sure. So the concept of blowing a pipe is, it starts with a hard piece of glass. It's a rod. I mean, that's what borosilicate glass is. Okay, so there's two types of glass you're going to find in a head shop. You're going to find borosilicate and soft glass, but we're talking about boro here. And boro starts with a rod, a hard rod, and you're going to put it into a flame. And while you do that, it's going to start melting like the honey we're talking about.
You do blow into the glass, in order to create shape.
Oh, that's it. Right. You're going to blow into it a lot. You're not blowing into it once or twice. You go up.
Well, this is why it's a misconception, because I think when people say, I want double blown glass, what they think in their heads is it's one layer of glass over top of a second layer of glass, and that creates a thicker piece of glass. And it's not the way it works. It starts with a thick piece of glass, and then a glass artist chooses to, expand or contract and create, thickness or thinness within that piece of glass. But to say double blown doesn't really mean anything. Blowing in glass is how you create shape. It's not how you create wall consistency.
I didn't think it. I hear you. I guess I was thinking that they were thinking that's how they say inside out.
Well, explain inside out then.
Okay. So, which also the implication is thicker. I mean, inside out.
Yeah.
So basically, inside out would be the opposite of surface work. So when you're looking at a piece of glass, you notice that there's color in it or fuming, which is when metal is added to it for a color changing effect. Wow, we're going to get deep if I keep going too far.
Yeah,
you can write those down. We'll talk about that shit later if anyone wants us to. So the color is either on the inside or the outside, the surface or inside. So if it's on the outside, you're going to take that rod I was telling you about and you're going to put all your artwork on the outside of it by, using colored rods or fuming, and you're going to apply it to the outside of that. If, on the other hand, you wanted to do inside out, there's a couple of ways of doing it. You could apply it to the outside and then literally flip your piece of glass inside out. Or you would flare your tube wide. Flare it out wide. So, as you're spinning it, you're going to open your tube up on the outside edge really wide with a graphite. Whoa. Why are we laughing at me?
Because you're trying to demonstrate it.
Because you're on a podcast, Use your words.
I think to sum up,
so I'm showing you. You guys explain. So you're gonna take your
can't all talk
graphite
at the same
rod
time.
and you're gonna open up that glass rod that you started with, your tubing, and then you're gonna add the color on the inside and then and then close it back down. So the glass would be on the inside of it.
So what's the advantage of getting an inside out pipe?
It creates an effect. It's what most
Like a
pipes
3D
are
look?
inside out. I think you see that a lot, and it's glass on the outside and color on the inside of it. And you can see that thickness of glass
let me stop,
between
but it's still all glass. The color is still glass. It's colored glass.
And again, if the glass artist knows what they're doing, then they've heated it to a consistent, wall consistency throughout. Glass is still liquid, so if you're adding glass to glass, it's just adding liquid to liquid. It's all one piece when it's finished.
Okay.
But then it looks like the color is on the inside of the glass as opposed to on the outside of the glass.
It's a beautiful effect.
It
adds depth. You could actually put it on the inside and the outside and get serious depth. Because you're going to add fuming on the inside in particular, which is the addition of metals so that it changes colors, and then potentially on the outside you add some color, and then you're getting depth to this. You could also potentially add some fuming on the inside, then add some clear glass over top of that on the inside. So you're trapping that fuming in there, then add some more fuming on there, maybe another color the gold versus the silver. And then you could put some lines on there, melt all that back in. So it's like you said, because it's liquid.
Okay. There was a lot of momentum there and then it just stopped.
Sorry, you stopped talking. You were talking and then you just stopped.
You were staring at me like.
Never mind.
So.
Because you're so animated.
So do we need a break now? Is that what we're?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really exciting. I kind of want to blow glass this afternoon.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I
Take
actually
some video doing that. Well.
I haven't been in the studio in like 10 years. And I have a studio. I just haven't operated it. So I'm sure all my lines are probably fucking shit by now. And I'd have some sort of a gas leak.
Oh, don't do that.
Nonsense.
All right, let's take a break. Let's not take this down.
So we talked a little bit about this fantastic little store called Higher Education, and not that I have personal interest in it or anything, but you could come and visit us there if you don't get enough of us on this podcast, because it's only once a week, and I'm a lot more fun than once a week kind of fun. So I'm at 619 West Main Street, Charlottesville, Virginia, 22903. Does it matter what the zip code is? Probably not. Anyway, and the phone number there, but don't call me because we're busy in the store, so there's really no reason to give you the phone number. But the website is highereducationva.com. And then we have a Richmond store. I'm not there as often, but Deborah's there, and so is Maeve, and they're awesome, and they might even be better at it than me at this point. They're both fantastic, fantastic ladies. And their address is 2307 West Carey Street. That's in Richmond. I don't know that zip code. And their website is RVA. Nope, that's not
Higher
even it.
Education
HigherEducationRVA.com. And we got this, we do Instagram. Right? I didn't know it, but we do. And we got these little videos. They're freaking adorable. So you guys should watch that. They're like these cute little videos. Tony does little dance flare things. Seth is doing some little like weird, retractable lighter thing. The dogs sniff butts. I mean, it's fantastic. There's so many fun things happening. I need to take a break now, so I'm taking my break. It's Higher Education and 3WV Coffee Talk.
I'm here to share my journey just for you. It all started out with the higher ed crew. Down on West Main, I was hanging with a friend when we saw the higher ed sign down around the bend. My boys said, let's check it. It could be a banging shop. When we walked into the store, man, it made my jaw drop. There were tubes and hand pipes, rigs and more. They even have a water pipe as tall as the door. Gas masks, rollers, papers made of rice. Sure-ish, ish, it was a smoker's paradise. My jaw dropped, my eyes popped. Boy, I was feeling. Then the friendly shopkeep said, yo, hey, how you feeling? I said, wow, this your shop. It's really, really great. I just stumbled in, yo, man. It must be fit. You got the packs, volcano, and even the kind. Man, the taste can be real hard to find. You got Roar, Pulsar, and Sheldon Black. Damn, I'm definitely coming back. This place is cool, dope, and really nice. That's why higher education is the smoker's paradise.
Now offering curbside pickup and shipping direct to your door. Higher Education, Charlottesville's CBD superstore since 2017, providing high-quality CBD and education about all its amazing benefits. Higher Education, because CBD is a lifestyle, not just a greener trend.
We're back. We took a break. There still wasn't any fucking birds out there.
forgot to cough.
She claimed that there was a
hurt.
bird out there, but there's no chickens. Did you see a chicken?
Not this time
I didn't
either.
see a chicken.
No.
Jeez.
Where's
No,
those
they're
fucking
They're there,
chickens?
I promise. I'm pretty sure I can find pictures. So.
Peyote episode. Talking about the chickens. Whoop whoop. We're having that peyote episode. Peyote. That was weird. Peyote.
Yeah, and that.
Peyote.
You have a weird obsession with that today.
Have you ever done peyote?
No.
Well, when you do it, you'll be obsessed too. It's fantastic.
Start talking about mushrooms. Should be obsessed with them too. I mean, just
you want to
pick
talk
some
about?
drugs.
I love drugs. I love them.
Did you ever do any LSD?
A little, here and there, a puddle or two. What? I puddle, you puddle, we all had a puddle. Ooh, ooh. I never did it in my eye though, because I don't really like the eye touching thing. Ew.
Yeah.
But I do love acid.
Did.
I did when it was legal.
It was never legal.
Shh. I did not do bad things.
Okay.
We don't do illegal things.
And we never would do illegal things. I thought they were legal. Someone forced me to do them. It was crazy. I would never do things like that. So.
We going home?
Yeah, I think Dawn went kind of,
Deep.
Yeah, deep.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Yeah, in the last section.
Too much information.
Dude.
Information
Hate school.
overload.
Well,
Information
that's not true.
overload. Well, if in the future
I kinda
anybody's
like it.
interesting and likes learning about glass, send us a message. The comments, or of course Ashley D. Find her. She's at 3WV. And she's got a car. I don't remember which one it is. Just leave messages on all the cars in the 3WV parking lot.
I just want to point out that Dawn has all the info, and the reason she went so deep is because she knows all the things.
You could probably message her through Higher Education's Instagram, Facebook,
Deep Dawn. That's what they call
Higher
me.
Education VA, and message there and ask Dawn all kinds of questions, and I will make
gave
sure
that
that
to
she
you.
gets them and gets back to you.
Deep Dawn.
Because I like to go deep. So yeah. Well, I guess I can answer questions on Instagram. Someone can.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
home.
So,
All right.
all right. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week on Higher Education and 3WV's Coffee Talk.